Walk through the laundry aisle of almost any supermarket, and you'll find hundreds of brightly colored bottles promising cleaner clothes, fresher scents, and stain-fighting power. Every year, families spend hundreds of dollars replacing products that disappear one load at a time. Yet, there are Amish households where an entire year's worth of laundry is cleaned with ingredients that cost less than a single bottle of modern detergent. No secret chemicals, no expensive brands, no complicated machines. Just a simple recipe that has quietly served generations of families who believe that if something works well, there's little reason to replace it. But the most surprising part isn't the recipe itself. It's why the Amish never felt the need to depend on commercial detergents in the first place. And once you understand the thinking behind it, you may never look at your own laundry room the same way again. Long before store shelves overflowed with brightly packaged cleaning products, nearly every household had its own way of washing clothes. Across rural America, families relied on practical knowledge passed from parents to children. They understood how water, soap, time, and careful effort could restore garments without relying on factory-made formulas. The Amish preserved much of that knowledge, not because they rejected modern life for the sake of being different, but because they carefully evaluate every new convenience. If an older method remains dependable, affordable, and within their ability to produce themselves, many Amish communities see little reason to replace it. Today, we're exploring one of those forgotten traditions, the homemade laundry soap recipe that has helped Amish families keep clothing clean while spending remarkably little money. Along the way, we'll discover why this simple mixture represents something much larger than saving a few dollars. And later we'll uncover why the real secret isn't hidden in the ingredients at all. As dawn breaks over rolling farmland, smoke slowly rises from chimneys. Horses wait patiently beside weathered barns. Clotheslines stretch across green yards where shirts, dresses, aprons, and quilts gently sway in the morning breeze. Laundry day has always been a serious task. Before automatic washing machines became common, cleaning clothes demanded strength, patience, and planning. Water had to be carried or pumped. Fires heated large kettles. Soap had to be available long before wash day arrived. Nothing could be wasted. This necessity encouraged generations of families to master soap making. Animal fats from butchering season were carefully saved. Wood ashes from winter heating served another purpose beyond warming the home. Every resource found multiple uses. Although practices differ among Amish communities today, many families still appreciate homemade laundry soap because it aligns with their tradition of self-sufficiency. Rather than depending on constant shopping trips, they prefer knowing exactly what goes into the products they use every week. But that's only part of the story. The ingredients themselves reveal an entirely different philosophy. Despite what many people imagine, there isn't one universal Amish laundry recipe. Different communities and families use different methods. However, one of the most widely known traditional homemade laundry soap recipes combines only a few inexpensive ingredients: a bar of simple soap, washing soda, borax. Sometimes the soap is grated by hand until it resembles delicate curls of ivory. The flakes are mixed with powdered washing soda and borax in equal proportions before being stored in large glass jars or tightly sealed containers. Just a few tablespoons are enough for an entire load of clothing. In many households, these ingredients can cost only a few dollars, especially when purchased in bulk, producing enough detergent for months and sometimes close to a year, depending on family size and washing habits. There are no colorful perfumes, no flashy marketing, no television commercials, Just a straightforward mixture designed to loosen dirt, remove everyday grime, and clean, durable fabrics. For Amish families, this simplicity is often considered an advantage rather than a limitation. After all, if something has worked reliably for decades, why complicate it? Yet even this famous recipe isn't the most interesting part, because the Amish don't simply depend on homemade soap. They depend on habits that keep clothes cleaner in the first place. Modern wardrobes often change with the seasons. New trends arrive every few months, encouraging constant replacement. The Amish approach clothing very differently. Garments are made to last. Simple cuts reduce unnecessary wear. Aprons protect dresses. Work clothes are separated from Sunday clothing. Small tears are repaired before they become large ones. Buttons are sewn back immediately instead of waiting until several disappear. This careful maintenance means clothing survives for years rather than months. Laundry practices reflect the same philosophy. Items are sorted carefully. Heavy dirt is brushed away before washing. Fresh stains are treated quickly instead of sitting for days. Sunlight helps brighten fabrics naturally. Outdoor air removes lingering odors. The clothes line itself becomes part of the cleaning process. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is disposable. This slower approach reduces the need for harsh chemical treatments that modern households often rely upon after neglecting stains for too long. And this is where things become even more interesting, because water itself plays a surprisingly important role. Many Amish homes rely on private wells rather than municipal water systems. Well water varies from one farm to another. Some areas have softer water while others contain more minerals. Families learn through experience how their own water behaves with homemade soap. Some adjust the amount of washing soda, others increase rinsing time. Some prefer rainwater for especially delicate fabrics because naturally soft water allows soap to rinse more easily. For generations, people understood that successful washing depended not only on soap, but also on understanding the water available to them. Modern products often promise to solve every problem with stronger chemicals. Traditional households solved many problems by learning how nature itself worked. That practical knowledge became part of everyday life. Children observed, parents explained, grandparents demonstrated. Skills quietly passed from one generation to the next. No instruction manuals required. Outsiders often assume the Amish avoid commercial products simply because they dislike modern technology. The reality is much more thoughtful. Most Amish communities evaluate new products through the lens of practicality, community values, stewardship, and independence. If a homemade alternative performs the job well enough, buying expensive replacements every month may not seem necessary. This mindset extends far beyond laundry. Furniture is repaired, tools are sharpened, blankets are patched, food is preserved. Buildings are maintained instead of replaced. The homemade detergent simply reflects a larger pattern. Instead of asking, "What's the newest solution?" they often ask, "What already works?" That single question influences countless daily decisions. Ironically, many modern sustainability experts now encourage similar habits: repairing instead of replacing, reducing unnecessary consumption, and making thoughtful use of available resources. The Amish never considered these ideas trendy. For them, they've simply been normal life. But the story becomes even more remarkable when we look beyond the laundry room. Imagine a warm spring afternoon in Amish country. Children laugh while carrying baskets of freshly washed clothing. Neighbors gather to help one another with seasonal work. Women exchange recipes, not only for baking, but for soap making, food preservation, quilting, and gardening. Knowledge travels through relationships rather than internet searches. If a young couple establishes a new household, experienced relatives often help them learn practical skills. When someone discovers a better way to solve an everyday problem, that idea spreads naturally throughout the community. The homemade laundry recipe survives Because people continue teaching it. No corporation protects it. No patents prevent others from using it. Its value lies in being shared. In today's world, information has never been easier to access. Yet practical wisdom sometimes becomes harder to preserve because fewer families regularly practice it together. The Amish remind us that knowledge grows stronger when communities actively pass it forward. Many visitors assume Amish homes are frozen in time. They're not. Different Amish affiliations make different choices. Some use gas-powered washing machines. Others rely on mechanical systems powered without public electricity. Some purchase certain commercial products while still making others from scratch. There is no single Amish rulebook followed by everyone. That's an important detail often overlooked. The famous homemade detergent recipe should therefore be understood as one traditional practice among many, not as something every Amish household uses in exactly the same way. The larger lesson isn't that every family mixes identical ingredients. It's that many Amish communities value learning practical skills that reduce dependence on constant purchasing. That mindset allows flexibility. If stores close temporarily, if prices rise, if supply chains are interrupted, life continues with fewer disruptions because essential household knowledge still exists. And perhaps that's the greatest hidden advantage of all. Most people watching this video probably won't abandon commercial detergent tomorrow. And that's perfectly fine. The goal isn't to become Amish. The lesson is much broader. Preparedness begins with simple knowledge. Learning how ordinary things work creates confidence. Knowing how to repair clothing instead of immediately replacing it saves money. Understanding basic household skills increases resilience during unexpected situations. Choosing quality over quantity often reduces waste. Sharing practical knowledge strengthens families. Living with intention encourages gratitude for what we already have. Perhaps the homemade detergent recipe represents something even more valuable than inexpensive laundry. It reminds us that convenience isn't the only measure of success. Sometimes the greatest wealth comes from knowing you can provide for yourself using simple, dependable skills. That kind of confidence cannot be purchased in a store. It must be learned. As the afternoon sun slowly lowers across quiet farmland, rows of freshly washed clothing flutter gently in the breeze. Each shirt, each apron, each quilt, each pair of work pants, cleaned not by expensive advertising or complicated formulas, but through generations of accumulated experience. The homemade laundry soap itself may seem surprisingly ordinary. A few inexpensive ingredients carefully mixed together. Yet behind that humble recipe stands an extraordinary philosophy. Waste less. Learn more. Care for what you own. Pass useful knowledge to the next generation. Remain grateful for simple solutions. In a world constantly encouraging us to buy something newer, faster, or more complicated, the Amish quietly demonstrate another possibility. Not perfection, not rejection of every modern convenience. Simply the belief that dependable skills are worth preserving. Perhaps that's why a simple jar of homemade laundry soap tells a much larger story than clean clothes alone. It speaks of resilience instead of dependence, stewardship instead of waste, community instead of isolation. And maybe the greatest secret hidden inside that $2 recipe isn't how well it cleans fabric. It's how it reminds us that some of life's most valuable solutions have never needed flashy packaging to prove their worth. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about Amish life and hidden traditions that most people never see, be sure to subscribe and join us for more fascinating stories from beyond the Amish world.